This week we're going to be learning how to do word problems. Our focus this week is on working out which operation we need to use, which means we have to know whether we are doing a taking away sum or an adding sum. We're going to start by looking at this first example. The question says, if you had 10 glass bottles and 3 plastic bottles, how many bottles are there altogether? I'm going to use a highlighter pen to highlight the important parts of this question. So first of all, I'm going to highlight the number 10, and then I'm going to highlight the number 3. So I know that the numbers 10 and 3 are going to be involved in my question, but I need to work out what I've got to do with these numbers now. So the question asks, if I had 10 glass bottles and 3 plastic bottles, how many bottles are there altogether? And this word is very important because it means we need to add the numbers together. So I'm going to add together 10 plus or add 3 equals 13. So this word here, altogether, lets us know that we're adding. Here is another example of a question that is asking us to add two numbers together. This question says, if you had 5 milkshakes and 2 fizzy drinks, how many drinks do you have in total? So the important bits of information here are the number 5 and the number 2. 5 milkshakes, 2 fizzy drinks. How many drinks do we have in total? And this word here, a little bit like in the last question when it said altogether, lets us know that we need to add those two numbers together. So I'm going to be doing 5 add 2 equals, and then you might know that answer or you might just count them, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Okay. Here we've got one more example of an addition or an adding question. The question says, if you had 4 apples and 3 pears, how many do you have? So it's asking about 4 apples and 3 pears, and it says, how many do you have? So in this question, we've got to think about having 4 apples and 3 pears. So this is what lets us know it's an adding sum. So we're going to write down 4 add 3, because we've got 4 apples and 3 pears. How many do we have? 4 add 3 equals 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. This next example is an example of a different type of question. So the question says, if you had 5 birds in your garden and one of them flew away, how many birds would you have left? The important bits of information in this question are the number 5 and the number 1, and then this bit here. How many birds would you have left? So that part is important because that's telling us what we need to do with the numbers. It's telling us that they want to know how many are left if you take one away, because one of the birds has flown away. So this is a taking away question or a subtraction question. Remember, in a subtraction question, when you're writing it down, you always start with the bigger number. So we had 5 birds and one of them flew away, so we take away 1. How many would we have left? 5 take away 1 equals 4. So this part here where it says, would you have left, if it uses the word left, or how many would you have after taking some away, that's a subtraction or a take away sum. And this is another example of a subtraction or a taking away question. The question says, if you had 20 plums and you used 13 to make jam, how many would you have left? So we'd started with 20 plums and we used 13 of them to make jam. How many would we have left? So remember, if we think about this word here, how many do we have left? That's asking us, once you've taken away 13, how many do you have left? So that is going to be another taking away. So the question is saying 20 take away 13 equals, now some people might be able to work that out. I've drawn a wee number line along here at the bottom to show you that you could use your number line to work that one out as well. So if we start at 20 and we count back 13, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13. Here we are, we're at number 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. So 20 take away 13 is 7. So we would have 7 plums left after we'd made our jam. So just to recap over what we've learned today, we've been focusing on reading word problems and working out what operation we need to use to answer the question. So I've shown them here, the examples divided into addition and subtraction examples. And remember, we were looking for the key words in the question. So in addition questions, we have things like altogether, or in total, or and. And in subtraction questions, the question is often asking about how many would you have left. So it says how many birds would you have left and how many would you have left.